Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this new day. Thank you for blessing me that I've been warm. Please bless everybody else out there that they will be warm too, that they can find ways against the cold of winter. Thank you for blessing me with excellent health. Please bless others that don't have such good health that they may be able to find ways to reduce their pain, find ways to cope with life, and find ways to get some exercise and be happy. Thank you for blessing me with such a wonderful family. I'm very grateful for each of them, far away though some may be. I'm grateful that I wanted to have a family and that I now have one, and that they're grown and that they care about us and want to help us out. And please bless those that don't have families or that don't have families that want to help them. And bless them that they may have good friends and that they may have people that will help them in their lives. Please help me to do something good for other people today. Perhaps by making these videos, which to me are just whatever, just my life. Bless them that they will be able to fill the needs of the people that need them and that want to watch them. I'm very grateful for all the technology that we have. I'm grateful that I have been so blessed to be able to have friends on YouTube. I'm very grateful that the technology allows us to see each other even though we're half a world away. Thank you for blessing us that we can live in this day. Please bless us with the smartness to deal with the trials that are ahead as the climate changes. Bless us with this opportunity to serve one another. Help us to be able to help those around us in need. Help us to find ways to accomplish thy will. And bless us that we can be calm and quiet enough that we can hear the promptings from thee that will help us to do the right things and say the right things and be the way thou would have us to be to do thy work. And bless us with the opportunity. Thank you for blessing with the scriptures, and help us to find time to read them and to be calm enough to listen to what they mean in our lives. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Look, nobody's still here. Isn't that great? I love to be able to pray without thinking somebody's watching me. It's cool. So I've been upstairs rummaging around trying to find things, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. You've been plugged in for a while now, so you have a bit of energy. I found this, which is a tripod, which will work with this. How does that work? This can come up. Ta-dum, ta-dum. And I can tighten it. And that tightens this, I guess. This can turn. Oh, look, this can also go. Oh, how awesome. This will attach to this, which can go in my big, on my big thing, my tall thing. I was looking for it, but I can't find it. So if I wanted to take this off of here, hey, look at that. See, and it even falls. Gravity works. This doesn't want to work, though. Oh, I guess you have to push this down. Okay. Well, shall we go together? Unplug you. So I have the post for this. Look at the mess. I don't even see how big a mess it is. I've got to get those Christmas presents delivered. Got to get that loom done. And up above there is a shelf that needs to be cut. This is just the daily mess. This is here for my rule, for finding a spot to do that. Now, did it fall down there? No, it did not. I'm looking for my tripod. I have a great big tripod. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's see if we can do this today. This will be awesome. Okay, so if I put this in here, oh wait, it's not going to do any good. Oh, wait a minute, this can, hold on. I'll put you down. Let's see if we can figure this out now. So this is going to go in here. Somehow. Huh. You let this fit. How can it not fit? There it goes. Okay, now what can I do here? Let's see. So it just turns around, but doesn't it lift up too? It does. There we go. Okay. So we can lift it. Let's make this taller. I love my tripod. Boy, this thing has seen some adventures, eh? Okay, now we could put you in there. Not that you need it, but we'll leave you where you are for right now because you need to be plugged in. Okay, now I had a little project I'm working on over here. So I have pillowcases and I have fleece. And if I want to put it on that plastic and do this, it would be better. Then I don't have to sweep the whole floor. Although sweeping the whole floor is probably a good idea. So I've got this nicely washed fleece in here, but I want to make sure it's all of the bits of nature are out of it. Oops. Saddled up and ready to roam, I'll take you places far from home. Walk and run and gallop and trot, and make new friends we like a lot. Yeah. You know, I found an easy way to get things like burdock out of this. Instead of pulling it all apart, which is alright, I guess. If you wet it, suddenly all the fibers let go, and you can just easily remove it. So I wanted to make a pillow out of this because it's so soft and it feels so nice. And I need another pillow. Today I would like to work on the door of the teepee down there. Needs a proper door that will close. So I think the way I'll do it is I will first, see we have 24 inches of new snow between here and there. So I think I will go down there. First I'll take my snowshoes down and nothing else, and I'll just snowshoe a path from the end of the north deck stairs down. You should feel this, it's so soft. And then, after I get down there and make a path back and forth, whether it's today or not, who knows, but it's only -8 today, so Celsius. It's been -20, which is -20, it was -30, which is -22 Fahrenheit. Anyway, but now it's up to -8, not -30, so we can handle this. This is all right. Doesn't really even feel that cold until it's -10. -10, then you notice it's cold. Like you probably should wear a coat. So I'll walk down there and I'll make a path. And then once I've got a path, I will make another path to the wood, which shouldn't be hard because that's right next to the driveway. I was thinking of planting these burdock seeds in my garden beds because burdock root is very good for you and I think it's very tasty in the early spring. I have some that grew last year. I've got to go and harvest it. If you don't harvest it, you're going to get a whole wad of burdock seeds. So I guess COVID cases are still rising in our area. I was hearing talk that it's going away, and they opened some stuff up. But now, I don't know. The best way to remove stuff from it is to first separate all the fibers. And then it all just falls out. Whether it be nature or nature. It's all nature. I have some fleece that's rotten. It's been stored for years. And I wonder, what about using it in my garden upstairs? I wonder how that would work. Can you do that? What would happen? It's all just breaking down into little bits. I wonder if there's any, what nutrition is in the fleece itself. You know, I know in the manure there's nutrition for the plants, but what about in in the fibers. It's all protein, right? But do plants really want protein? What do they want? Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, right? The three numbers on fertilizer bags. This could be washed again, you know? And it will be. Some parts of it are already fine, but this parts on this side don't seem to be that fine. I was thinking about an electric spinning wheel. If I had an electric spinning wheel and I could put it on a table, I wouldn't have to bend down. This all needs to be washed. Some of this seems to be the fibers. These fibers are breaking apart. So it's like it's not good fiber anymore there. Ouch. Get up and ready to roam, saddled up. I'll take you places far from home. I'll walk and run and gallop and trot, and make new things you like a lot. Yay! So then, after I snowshoed the path between the deck, you know, maybe I should snowshoe from the driveway down the path to the teepee as well. And then I could fill all those teacup feeders with deer feed. I think the deer would like it to go in there. Burdock is not a good thing to have in a sheep pen, is it? Nope. I hope you're having a nice morning. I woke up this morning and I saw a little bit of red on the morning horizon, and something about that is so nice. My grandson yesterday called in the morning. I thought it was pretty early for him to call, like he usually gets up later. And he called and wanted to play Minecraft, and so I missed the entire sunshine, the entire day of sunshine. I missed it because I had to play Minecraft with him. I mean, it's okay. I like playing with him. I like getting to know him and being his friend and doing stuff with him. He gives me assignments. He says, okay, Grandma, I want you to build a dragon, and I want it to be black with orange eyes and purple inside its mouth. And he wanted me to do it in the end. There's an end area. It's like a different world. And it's darker in there. I mean, it's anyway, when you're using black, I can't see using black. I had to figure out a way to get light to it so I could do this. And I couldn't do it. I just made a hodgepodge mess. And then I figured out how we could spawn a dragon. And then I started spawning dragons, and you're supposed to tap them with raw salmon to tame a dragon so you can ride it. He really wants to tame and ride a dragon. And so that wasn't working. Click, 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 click. No. But if you spawn them, they get up and fly away so quickly, you don't have time to click on them. And they're not interested in raw salmon. I don't know where that comes from, that you can do that. But then he followed them, and usually when he follows things, he gets so lost because he just flies far away. And if we don't write down the coordinates of where we were before, we are totally lost, right? And so he followed them, and it turned out that there was this big crack in the earth, and they all went in this crack in the earth. And they went way down. They were circling down and coming up and circling all the way up and then going back down. And so he had actually, I kept spawning them one after another, hoping that maybe he could catch up with one. He was so surprised. He was after one, and it was so fast, and he was trying to keep up with it. And then he said, "Oh, there's another one. There's 2 more." I was just making them one after another. There must have been 40 of them. And so they all went in this one place. And so he could, we tried making a hole in a mountain and then going in the mountain and spawning them so maybe they couldn't escape. But no, they just break through the entire mountain. The entire mountain it's like it's made of cheese or water to them. That was kind of interesting. I brought my Carters home. I had loaned them to Scarlett, but she's not using them right now. She's got her baby goats, So I'm a grandma again. She already has 2 goats that are big. These are cashmere goats. I'm not sure how old before they'll need to be sheared. It's fun working with fiber, There's so many possibilities. Who knows what you can do with all this fiber? I mean, you can card it and spin it and weave it, make yarn, make rope. You can use it for insulation. A lot of insulation uses for it. You can build walls out of it to block the wind. I wanted to make a blanket out of it by felting it. See, some of this is hanging together pretty well, so you could actually felt that together if you get it together enough to figure out what you're doing. This is like the year I put a sign down by the road that said Hide Depot, and everybody would come by and drop off their deer hides. I thought that was awesome. So I got 40 deer hides, I believe, and I did used most of them. I tanned, but not all of them. Some of them, the season, went by and it froze and they weren't salted and animals got into them. But I did make about 10 hide tanned soft rugs, They were really nice. Somebody stole them. They were down at my teepee. That was a long time ago. Back when I was young. The first time my city daughter-in-law came over, my kitchen had a bathtub under an extra countertop, which I had stuck out like an L. And she came over and saw the smelly hides in the bathtub under the counter. It was shocking, to say the least. You can hear the deck banging, eh? Can you hear that? It's from the cold. Guess it's warming up now. Last night it was negative 25 in the evening, and it got a little bit warmer every hour until now it's only negative 8. That's kind of neat when the coldest temperature of the night is actually from the night before. How does it work when they put the high and low temperatures for the day? Is it like from midnight to midnight, or is it like overnight? Probably midnight to midnight, right? Which messes you up when you think it's going to be whatever temperature tonight, but it already was that last night. And so it's not going to be that temperature. It's going to warm up all night. These burdock get hidden in the fleece. The whole fleece wraps around it. When you stand for a long time, if you bend your knees slightly so that you can kind of bounce, that's better for your back. It's better for your knees too. When you stand in place a long time, your knees lock. If you're standing up straight, that's like overextending your knees. That's a bad thing for your knees. When you're old, are we old yet? Are we there yet? I suppose you might like a better view. Is that something that would mean something to you? Or are you just busy doing your housework anyway? Just knowing someone else is hanging out doing their thing. That's sometimes just good enough, right? So you don't feel all alone in the world. I guess it gives you a bit of ideas of things to do in a day that you wouldn't maybe think of. Saddled up and ready to roam. I'm going to bring my violin back down and I'm going to play it while I talk. I'm going to stop and take little breaks and play my violin because I like doing that. But I find that if I'm on live and I'm talking to you, then it feels like we're in a conversation and I can't just do what I want. And then I'm sort of tied down to a conversation, and sometimes that's lovely, but a lot of the time I just want to do my thing, but I'm sharing my time. I love reading the comments. It's awesome. But then you see, if I realize that we're in the middle of a thing, I feel like I'm entertaining everybody. I don't feel like I'm entertaining people right now. But I guess I'm doing something, right? When I'm just sitting there reading the comments, there's no entertaining going on. I was thinking it probably looks like if you just dropped into the channel and you see a person sitting there reading, it's not like much to watch, right? But then I'm not doing this because it's much to watch. I'm just being me and doing my life and sharing it. Like you guys were in the kitchen with me but it's nice when people are actually here. I'm so focused on them that I don't do anything at all. So this is actually a lot more productive for me if I just do it like this. Saddled up and ready to roam. So I started practicing that piece yesterday, or the other day. I did it on there. It came upon a midnight clear. I think that was the one. I'm trying to learn these songs, but you have to re-practice them or else you forget how to play them again. I once had a long list in my notes file on my phone of all the hymns, all the songs that I know that I could play, or that I do play. Well, that was good to have. Even though I'm rather new at it, as far as I'm concerned, since I haven't had 12 years of lessons, I've had 12 years of practicing on and off. I have improved many fold. Somebody said the other day how it sounded, like I had tried hard to tune it, and from that I wondered if it sounded pretty bad, but this was the upside of it, was that I had tried. And I thought it was better than that, but I don't know. Because you can't really tell I can't tell myself. And I never watch my videos because I just think it's terrible. I think, oh my gosh, went on so long. Why did I keep talking about that? Why didn't I move the camera? I guess this is why people edit things. But I don't have time to edit it. I don't have time to live my life twice. Maybe I did if I didn't watch television and waste time in the evenings. But I do that because my brain is sort of shut down and I don't feel like doing much. Oh, I know what that is. That's that door. But my bottom that I built for the door and screwed on fell off. Those little screws that come with the hinges, those are whopping big hinges to have half-inch screws with them. What is this? Maybe it's because anything bigger will go through the width of your door or whatever you're hinging. Yes, so back to my door on the teepee. So I'm going to, I think I will frame it first. I'll close it in so it's not such a big opening. And then I'll make a door out of, I'll line up a lot of boards beside each other, and like I did the other day. My knees are starting to lock up. It's banging in the wind. Oh, look at the wind. Oh, wind is going to change things. I don't know if I want to go out and work out there in the wind. -8 will feel a lot colder. Willem asked me if I wanted to start going swimming again. So of course I said yes. But I'm not sure about what it's going to do to my hair. It's salt water in there, I believe. Somewhat salty. See, now this I could probably put in the washer and let it fluff in the dryer. I don't have a dryer like that has settings, like air settings. It's got wool, a wool setting. I guess you could dry it on a wool setting. I want it to bounce around a bit so it'll get all the bits out. So if anybody comes on and trolls, you can block them yourselves, block them in each of your feeds so that you won't see comments from them. Till I get over there and get on top of it and remove any new names of our local troll. See, you can do something like this, which is a huge job, if you don't try and do it all at once, right? You can do it in little bits. Like I washed it one day, had to pick it out first, and then I washed it, and then I put it all in pillowcases once it was basically washed, but I didn't have all the nature out of it yet. But so I have lots of pillowcases like this. So as I find something I want to use fleece for, I can just get it out and do the amount I want to do. I've used about 10 bags. I've used them for insulating upstairs. I should put some under the deck for the animals. So it is very nice and warm. I wonder if the deer would use it. I wonder if the deer would sleep on it if it was out there. I don't think my area is, I think it's too see-through. I think too much wind is coming through. I think I need to put some Christmas trees in there. But I never got any Christmas trees this year. It's because I was sick around the time my daughter had COVID. I wasn't that sick, but I was a little bit sick. And I was noticing the progression, and it was sicker than the day before, but I was never very sick. I didn't have to stay in bed at all. So, I mean, how sick are you if you don't have to stay in bed? But I, had this symptom and that. Maybe I just wanted to think about myself when other people were sick. Now there's a profound thought. So we're taking this emotion, oh my goodness, oh look what's happening outside. I guess we've had a dusting of snow. Okay, I'm going to turn you around and put you on this tripod if you will fit. I'm gonna put it in pillow. I'm making a pillow from it. This bit anyway. I have to get all the burdock out. You see all the burdock down there on the floor? You can't see it unless I actually tilts you down, but then the wire is holding you. Anyway, it's a lot of burdock on that. Oh, I was going to show you the wind was blowing off the roof. I guess we must have gotten maybe a little dusting, because I think all of it blew off the roof. It just made this big little windstorm, a little snowstorm that came billowing past the window. But you know, upstairs where I have the fleece blocking that entrance up into there's a little attic above this room, and I have the fleece to try and help keep it warmer in there, or colder in there and warm in the room. But the top of the roof in that area is all melted, so I guess the heat is going in there. The top of the snow on top of that part of the roof. Not the house, the main roof up above. I should probably put on the kettle. I like having the kettle on. I like doing that thing. And I have my hose back down here, so I have clean water. It makes such a difference, you know, now that the salt has been added to the softener. They didn't leave a tap in every room without it, you know, because of course the calcium is just going to clog it up right away. We have a lot of calcium here. Just trying to get the burdock out of this, and the poop, or the nature. There's not much. Oh, let's see, there's these clumps that are all matted together, and often they're actually matted around burdock. Oh, I also want to felt some soaps. I have some of this upstairs now. An idea for when I'm sitting, but you know, when I'm sitting I don't necessarily feel like doing that. Anyway, whatever, when I do want to do it, it's there. I'll have to see what you guys are saying. I wonder if I could have it talk and tell me, read it to me. Maybe there's a way, who knows? It was fun filming at Scarlett's the other day. Wasn't that nice? Her channel is How to Grow a Garden. She loves gardening. She's really good at her landscaping. She makes all these garden beds that are so attractive all around the pathways and along things. It's really beautiful. Lots of perennials. Just opening it all up. Because if it doesn't have air in it, it's not good insulation or pillow, you know, if it's all matted down. I mean, it will still be alright, but it's not like if it's fluffy. It's also a lot bigger when it's fluffy, isn't it? I hope everybody's feeling well today. So I was going to tell you about this emotional resilience class. So what are your triggers? What things upset you? And these are probably things that recur. And so if you can figure out what your triggers are, and then figure out better ways to deal with the situation. Now there's also time of day things, like there's certain time of day when it's probably you don't have enough focus or patience, or there's probably certain times of the day that are harder. And there's there's hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Halt. So if you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you're not gonna, well, that's in those AA programs, the whatever, anonymous, HALT. So those are the times you're most likely to trip up if you're trying to give something up, if you're trying to refrain from eating chocolate. Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Those are the times, and those times you don't really care what you're eating either. You've got all these great ideas, these great plans, but if you're hungry, at some point you stop caring. And angry, you just got to feed the machine when you're angry, right? And lonely, when you're lonely, you're not thinking right either. I think loneliness, it's an interesting phenomenon. A lot of us are going through it during COVID. I think that it's okay when we live alone, and we like to always live alone, but usually we had our children that would drop by or come over, and so the alone times were fine because they were, well, your break from the rest of it, but also there wasn't too much of it, right? You had choices. You could not be lonely and go drop in on friends or whatever. And now we've been having to find new ways, Zooming with people, or I haven't done that except church and meetings, stuff like that. But if you're interested in emotional resilience, if you go on the church's website, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if you go on there and you look through, I don't know, self-reliance is probably the overarching topic, right? So if you look under self-reliance, you'll find all kinds of good stuff like food preparedness and food storage and but other things. But anyway, so self-reliance, and under there you can find emotional resilience, and the manual is on there. And so you can do that program by yourself. It's really good if you have a partner, though, that you're doing it with, somebody that's not your husband, because I find that doesn't work. I ask Willem if he will please remind me to read the scriptures. Let's read them together. But he reads them on his laptop, and he doesn't remind me, and I forget. Or when I remember, I'm busy. Too busy to talk to the person that gives me all these blessings to be busy with. Anyway, but it would probably be better if you had a person that you're not living with, that you're reminding to read the scriptures, or you read them together or something. guess I'll change this title from puttering to picking through fleece. Picking burdock from fleece. Except that you're not really getting a really close-up view of anything, are you? You probably just... It's a good time to go do your own dishes, right? Just leave this on in the background so you're listening to something, I guess. I like asking Google, what is the latest news? And my dot will tell me. First I just get up in the morning and I say, good morning. Or I say, okay, whatever. And then I say, good morning, and she says, good morning, Nancy. The time is, in your area, it is so many degrees. The forecast is such and such. Here's the latest news on coronavirus, and then here's the latest news. So I get CBC Radio, and I get the New York Times, the Daily. They have really interesting, in-depth stuff. Aren't they finding out a lot of stuff now? It's amazing what good investigative reporting is. So good. And then all the stations pick it up, right? And then the authorities get involved, you know. The investigative reporting will uncover some crime happening out there, and then they get right on it, and next thing you know, justice is happening out there. It's nice to have a justice system. It's really, it gives me hope when I hear that criminals are being tried for crimes. You know, I really appreciate that. This latest thing is a fad of you can do whatever you want, there are no consequences in government, you know, that you can all decide to believe what you want to believe and go with it, and you'll never have to pay the piper. And it's very, you know, I think that we all have this innate desire for fairness, and we know, like, the consequences of our actions. We know that we can't behave in a certain way or certain things will happen. Of course, you get better at that as you get older. Of course, as you get less mobile, there's less trouble you can get into. But I always find a way. See, I thought of this morning, and so this is what I'm doing. But I have other things that I want to do and I've thought of on other mornings, but they're still waiting. Like redoing the loom. I guess I have to plan to do it, and if I plan to do it, then I'll do it. Maybe I'll plan to do that. Should we do that later? Maybe I can do that while I'm playing Minecraft with my grandson. So I don't really... Sometimes he just wants me to be there in the room, in the game, be in the room with him. Of course, usually he's giving me assignments, so too busy. But if I'm just hanging around watching him, might as well be threading my loom at the same time. We're always on the phone together at the same time as we're playing, so we're talking. So you have to have the laptop and the phone. Minecraft, if you go out of the game to check something that's not in that, like some other part of your computer, if you go to do something, you get kicked out of the entire game, and you have to go back in. So you're not just standing in the room waiting, watching your grandson anymore. You're out of the game, and you have to go back in, and he's like, Grandma, 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 where are you? Did you leave? Usually I just go nearby where he's working, and I build another room or something. It's fun to learn new things you can do in the game. Such an interesting game. There's so many, like this whole thing about taming dragons and flying after the dragons, trying to catch them. I mean, it's a very interesting thing. I mean, it's not like Mario Brothers, where you're just bumping up, getting points, and running along and falling in and having to start over. It's much more interesting than that. There's so many facets to it. It's almost like recreating the entire world and the animals on it. And so the a certain animal that jumps, they can jump. They can jump to the top of the mountain, you know, like a mountain goat. Or sheep, you know, you get the shears and you shear the sheep, and they don't have any wool for a little while, and then it grows back. Pop! Then they have wool again, and you can shear them again. And you have to feed them. If you feed them, then they'll reproduce. And then you have more of them, and you can dye their wool while they're walking around. So you have blue sheep and any color of got lots of colors. I like trying to build bathrooms. You take an armor stand which is shaped like a wooden stick man, right? And you get rid of a block and you put it down one block low, and then you give it a blue helmet. And then it's going to be, the helmet is going to be the water in the bowl, whether it's the toilet or the sink. And then you take a stairs and you turn the stairs upside down by clicking on the upper part of the adjoining block. And you get upside down stairs, so it's like a T or an L, upside down, whatever. And then you get a piston. So you put a piston, you have to stand behind the armor stand and look through it and place a piston in the next block so it's facing this way. Then you put a redstone beside it, or maybe you put a block of redstone first and then put the piston beside the redstone. Anyway, and so the redstone will power it. And all of a sudden, just placing the block of redstone beside it, the piston will eject, and so it'll squish your upside down stairs over the what's he called? The armor stand. And so you just have the top of his helmet showing because he's down a block lower, so it's like that's his full height would be the height of your sink. I just like doing that. I like figuring it out and making it look right, and then you take this hook and wire and you can put that on the wall, and it's just this little thing that goes like that, so it looks like a faucet. Well, that bit feels pretty good. This is a big job, isn't it? This is taking time. I was just going to do it quickly. Didn't realize there was so much in it. These are beautiful fibers. They're really beautiful and curly. I guess I could zoom you in. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know what that's going to show you. I'll have to come over here and see it. Yeah, I guess you'll be able to see what's happening here. Won't that be like a dream come true? Guess there's a bit of dust in it. See, if I put it back in the laundry after doing all this, put it back in the wash under wool, then it'll clean all these bits up. Helps when you pull them open. But you know, when I made those rugs, I took fleece and I just pulled it and laid it in like that. Well, it wasn't quite like that, but I laid it in and then used it without, I never cleaned it at all, but I pulled it so thin as I worked it, and so it didn't have burdock in it, didn't have a lot of poop in it or anything, but it cleaned right up when I washed it as a rug, because everything was nicely separated then. And I have a hard time appreciating using the carders. It just seems to take a long time, and I find that you get a pretty good result just pulling it. Pulling it straightens it out a lot. Okay, so oops. So, oh yeah, I don't want to talk to him just yet. I have to read what everybody has said. Okay, so I'm going to go. I'm just going to read everything, maybe comment on it, and then I'm going to call him back and play with him. So let's make you smaller like that. I'm going to go back up here. Oh, look at this. You guys are having a... And to be at peace. Amen. I am here. Hi, Ellen. It says that I'm not, though. Good morning. Good morning, Regina. It's nice not to be so cold this minute. Yeah, it's beautiful out. So glad the snow... I guess I won't be doing anything out there on the teepee if I'm playing Minecraft all day. I have to be careful what I say on here. I don't want it to go the way of Elmo's friend. He's just a troll, nothing to be worried about. You're fine. Burdock root is medicinal. Seeds can be ground into flour. Good morning, Jeannie. You have a spinning wheel. Actually, two. I bought one of the... Oh, you did buy an electric spinner. Don't even know where you stashed it. Oh, man. The resale store by us had an old wooden one for $2.50 and could have got it for $100, but just didn't have the room or the know-how to tell if it was a good one or not. Nancy, it was fun going with you to Scarlett's house. She truly is a beautiful young lady and has her head on straight. Knows what she wants. Those goats and pig were so... I know she has 3 pigs. I think you just brushed for Angora. Interesting. I need to be plugged in to watch. Looks calming to see you picking your wool. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Jeannie. Glad you came. Hi, Regina. I'm drinking. Hi, got my little one off to school doing laundry on my floors today. Good job, Jeannie. The chat is quiet this morning. Never know what to say, eh? What are you doing with your fleece, Nancy? There I am. I'm getting ready to take my granddaughter to school. I hope you had a great day. Hope you... Laundry, yuck, I hate that chore. Jeannie, say whatever you want. We'll chat back at you. Hi, Lois. Laundry and ironing are my favorite chore. Are they really? Laundry and ironing? It seems so productive and smells good. You usually sit down to clean your fleeces? Interesting. Oh, we got to get rid of this guy. Remove. Can you feel lanolin on the fleeces? Well, I do until I wash it, and then there's a little bit in those little chunks, you know. I have a black fleece I'm working. Oh, is that right? I'm really glad to know that I can personally block someone in chat. I didn't know that. If I block someone, can they still see my comments? I don't know. And the reason to block somebody is there's this person that's been coming on who breaks all the rules. You know those rules that they put if you want to join a group, like no bashing each other, and no sex talk, and no threats, and no swearing, and all that stuff. Well, he was doing all that. He was being very rude to people on here, and I didn't want to block him. Yes, older and white. Okay, so Jane is trying to call, so I guess I have to go. So it's very lovely being with you again today. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you later when I can.